Hey, well, as you know, I hail from the great state of Louisiana. Yeah, from a small town called Eunice. See, growing up on the farm, Roy Rogers was my favorite cowboy. And my dear father, he bought a horse that looked like Trigger, and I had to break him in. In breaking a horse in, you have to teach him what it feels like to be rode, what it feels like to have a person on his back. And sometimes that involves getting on the horse, getting bucked off, and getting back on the horse. Well, my father took me out to the field to break Trigger. That horse would let me settle on in, then buck and throw me off, and sometimes I wind up in muddy ditches. And every time that the horse would buck me off, I could hear my father's voice in the background. Get back on it, boy. Get back on it. At 16, I got a job on a fishing boat in a city called Cameron, Louisiana. And on our very first night out, we were in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico when we were hit by a huge storm. You know how neat I am, so in turn, I felt seasick, so I didn't want to mess up our sleeping quarters. So I went up to the top deck, and bam! Man, I got hit by a huge wave and knocked down on the deck and rolled over on the edge of the fishing boat and grabbed a hold of one of the vertical bars. Man, I was hanging on for dear life as I looked down at the dark, swirling waters. You know, can you imagine this? Our boat got thrown up 15 feet in one direction, 20 feet in the opposite direction, up and down. Man, at 16, I thought to myself, this is it. I'm going to drown for sure. That's when I heard my father's voice coming out of that deep, dark, angry ocean, saying, son, get back on it. Get back on it. And some fishermen had to come up topside to save me. In fact, they had to pry my hands loose in order to carry me back down below. You know, when I finished my Gulf of Mexico boat fishing job and went back to my hometown of Eunice, I found out that one of my best buddies, J.L. Pete, had drowned in one of our favorite swimming holes, our famous Dynamite hole. You see, in Louisiana, when growing up by the bayous, you know, the adults would drag huge fishing net, trawling for, you know, catfish, garfish, and sometimes crawfish. You know, while we little kids, man, we would swim from behind and dive down below and unhook the nets, whatever got hooked on in the debris at the bottom of the bayou. Sometimes we ran into huge snakes and long, slimy electric eels. That's how I became such a fast swimmer. Well, you know, then after that, we just swum everywhere. We swam in the bayous, the rice field, and two large holes carved out by a dynamite explosion. Well, that's how they got the name a Dynamite Hole. Well, after being in my hometown for a while, you know, I was telling myself that if I would have been there, my buddy GL would have never drowned. Well, my father saw me something about GL, and he pulled me off to the side in a rather quiet manner. And he said, son, get back on it. Well, after that, we just couldn't swim the Dynamite Hole anymore. And this was 1956, so you know we couldn't swim in the White Pool. So my hometown built we blacks our very own swimming pool. Well, in 1958, we found out that the white lifeguards at the White Pool were making $125 a month, while we black lifeguards were making $100 a month. So, my lifeguard buddies, Luton, Papa, and myself, put our little heads together and decided we were going to go talk to the mayor. We walked on the mayor's porch, rang the doorbell. The mayor came out and said, can I help you boys? Well, I told the mayor about the $25 pay difference. The mayor told us we spent a lot of money teaching you boys how to swim. Well, I kind of looked back, you know, wanted to let my buddies put in their 2 cents. he had run away. Man, I knew right then whatever we were going to get raised. But I was still glad I asked. But I thanked the mayor, and I burnt some bike rubber getting on out of there. In 1960, another good buddy of mine named Sonny Rose and yours truly, we heard California calling. You know, we entered the Trailway bus station in my little hometown, on the colored side, of course. And we boarded the Trailway bus. Same bus on the way to California, we ran into a guy from New Orleans, Louisiana. And he had friends in Los Angeles who helped us find a place to stay and a job in construction. Boy, God is good. We could have been homeless, And so on my very first night out, a day off rather, I went to my first integrated swimming pool. I climbed on the highest diving platform. And I thought about my father and said, I'm on it, Pops, I'm on it. Well, anyway, I evaluated my income coming in and started thinking possibly the military might have been my only option. So I went to the Air Force, and they had a 6-month waiting list, so my income couldn't last that long. So I thought about the Army, but the Army, they drafted folks, and just about anybody can go in there. And I said, well, maybe I'll go to the Navy and see the world. But then I remembered hanging on that fishing boat in the Gulf of Mexico and said, no way. I kind of looked at my skinny body then, and I said to myself, Marine Corps, here I come. In the Marine Corps, man, I learned, I saw a drill instructor out there at Camp Pendleton, breaking wood and brick with his bare hands and feet. I learned about brotherhood. In fact, I learned also that one screw-up could have the whole platoon running around in mud, sand, and water. In one particular instance, we were running drills in the middle of the night, and Marines were falling out right and left. We had a platoon of about maybe 70 some odd, maybe 6 or 7 of us blacks, and this one particular incident, this black said he couldn't take it anymore, and he fell down. So another Marine buddy of mine and I, we grabbed him by his shoulders and said, no way, get back on it, Marine. Well, I was assigned to artillery and learned how to operate the 105 howitzer. I was given an honorable discharge just before that darn Vietnam War blew wide open. So a Marine buddy of mine, who happened to be a white dude, he helped me find a job at a carpet manufacturing company. So I asked my buddy, I said, how much you making? He told me $1.65. So he asked me how much I was making. So I told him $1.50. So I guess things hadn't changed. You remember Sonny Rose? Well, Sonny had a brother named Bootsy Rose who had joined the Marine Corps and gone to Vietnam. One of Bootsy's job was to retrieve dead Marines and stack them on a truck. Bootsy never got over it. I once saw Bootsy, man, would you believe it, he was talking on the phone. And as I got closer, I realized Bootsy didn't have a phone in his hand. Bootsy was talking to his memories. Bootsy and I would sometimes sit around and talk about lost love, about job, and about that Vietnam. Bootsy would get overwhelmed sometimes, and I would grab Bootsy by the arm and raise his arm up and tell him, Marine, get back on it. Bootsy lost his life to his best friend, Jack Daniel. They found him dead on his living room floor. Bootsy really never left Vietnam. My dear father, well, he came to California in 1963, and he got a job as a boiler room engineer. Man, he worked there for many years until he had a massive stroke, which left him incapacitated. I went to see my father one day, and believe me, man, I was trying hard to keep my emotions in check. He had been such a strong farmer, a strong worker, a strong family man. I said, Pops, Pops, get back on that